Heroes, welcome to the Three Kingdoms. You will need to use your skills and strategies of role-playing, fighting, and even deceiving to survive in this brutal battlefield. War of the Three Kingdoms, Kingdom Wars. Game accessories. There are 5 types of cards. 108 game cards, 60 general cards, 12 health cards, 4 ambitionist cards, 8 marker cards. Now, we will introduce the game process of War of the Three Kingdoms, Kingdom Wars. Allow all players to sit around the table. Deal each player 7 general cards. For a game with 9 or more players, deal 5 general cards instead. Shuffle the game cards to make the game card deck and place it in the center of the table. Each player selects 2 generals from the same kingdom denoted by frame color of the card. The general card is composed of the following elements: the kingdom, maximum health points, name of the general, skills, perfect pair. In the game, there are a total of 4 kingdoms: the Wei, the Shu, the Wu, and the Neutral. Each kingdom has got 15 generals, with a total of 60 generals. Winning conditions. The force you choose determines the winning conditions. That is to eliminate all generals of different forces than yours. Note that ambitionists need to eliminate all other forces including other ambitionists. Players become ambitionists when that force has more than half of the total number of players in the game. For example, in an 8-player game, the 5th Wei player and his subsequent Wei players are regarded as ambitionists, denoted by obtaining an ambitionist card. Remember that between ambitionists, they are also regarded as different forces. Therefore, they will also need to destroy each other. Set up. After selecting generals, take a health card and turn it to the side equal to the combined maximum health points of the 2 generals. Place the general cards facing down next to the health card. The general closer to the health card will be the main general, and the other general will be the deputy. During the game, when the player loses health points, the main general will be moved to cover the amount of health points lost. When the health points are being restored, the main general card will also be moved to display the player's current health points. When all players have completed the selection, deal 4 cards randomly to each player as the starting hand. You may now start the game. Game starts. From the starting player, players take turns to play in counterclockwise direction. The preparation phase is the start of a player's turn, during which some generals could initiate their skills. For example, Zhuge Liang's Stargazing, Lady Gan's Divine Wisdom, Sun Jian's Heroic Spirit, and Lady Zhen's Goddess of Luo River. Next is the Judgment phase. If you have a spell card placed in front of you that requires judgment, you need to make a judgment at this phase. Otherwise, skip this phase. A judgment determines whether the skill or effect will be activated, and is performed by displaying the top card of the game card deck. The card that is being flipped open is called the Judgment card. The suit, color, number, name of this card is the result of the judgment. Discard the Judgment card after the judgment results have been settled. For example, if you need to judge whether the effect of an acedia will be taken into account. Flip open a judgment card. If the result is 3 of diamond, according to Acedia's description, it will not be activated. In this case, discard the acedia and the judgment card and proceed to the next phase. Next is the draw phase. Draw 2 cards from the game card deck and add them to your hand. Unless otherwise stated, the player cannot skip the draw phase. The play phase. At this stage, you can use or play your hand cards according to the actual situation, such as using an attack, equipping a weapon, or playing a spell card. Game cards. There are 3 types of game cards: basic, spell, and equipment. There are 4 basic cards: attack, dodge, peach, and wine. Attack could be used to target a player. If the player does not use a dodge in response, the targeted player will lose 1 health point. Unless otherwise stated, you can only use attack once per turn. Dodge could be used to offset an attack. Peach, mainly used to restore health points. You can use it during your own turn to recover your health point, or use it on an ally who is in a state of dying. Wine could be used in 2 ways as well. One is to use it on yourself during your turn to improve the damage caused by your next attack by 1. The other is to save yourself when you are in a state of dying. Spell cards are the ones with a spell logo on the lower left corner. There are common spells and time delay spells. Common spells will take effect immediately after being played, while time delay spells with a time delay symbol will only take effect when it's triggered under certain conditions. Note that negation is a spell card, which can offset the effect of another spell card. Hence, it could be offset by another negation. You can gear up by placing these cards in your equipment zone. Their effects will be ongoing. There are 3 types of equipment cards: weapons, armors, and mounts. Each player is entitled to equip only 1 armor, 1 weapon, 1+1 mount, and 1-1 mount at the same time. To replace your equipment, discard the old equipment card and place the new equipment card in your equipment zone. The default attack range of each player is 1, meaning you can only use attack to target the first player to your left or right. If you are equipped with a weapon, your attack range will be updated according to the card. A weapon's attack range is denoted on the lower left of the card. In addition to adjust the attack range, weapon cards also have special skills and effects that players can use. The role of the mount cards is to change the distance between players. By equipping an -1 mount, you can subtract 1 from the distance between you and another player. Hence, -1 mounts are offensive mounts that allows you to target your attack or take cards and equipments from players further away. +1 mounts are defensive mounts. It could add 1 to the distance from other players to you, so that you are further away from attacks. The last is the armor cards, who provide certain defense abilities. Take the 8 trigrams formation as an example. If someone attacks a player who's equipped with the 8 trigram formation, the targeted player could perform a judgment first, instead of using a dodge immediately. If the judgment card is red, according to the effect of 8 trigram formation, this player is deemed to have used a dodge, hence do not need to play one. When you have no more cards to play or do not wish to play any more cards, enter the discard phase. During this phase, you can retain at most the same number of hand cards as your current health points. For example, if your current health point is 2, you can only hold up to 2 hand cards, and will have to discard all other extra hand cards. The last is final phase, which signifies the end of a player's turn. Skills from certain generals could be used at this stage. For example, Yue Jin's Dauntless, Cao Ren's Entrenched, Lu Meng's Self-Control, and Diao Chan's Beauty Outshining the Moon. During the game, when a player is eliminated, this player must reveal all general cards, discard all the cards, then proceed to settlement of rewards and punishments. If you eliminate a player of your kingdom as a punishment, you must discard all cards in hand and equipment zone. If you eliminate a player of a different kingdom, as a reward, you may draw X cards, X being the number of players from that kingdom, including the player who just got eliminated. For an ambitionist, the reward is to draw 3 cards. Hidden Generals. At the beginning of a game, generals are all hidden, meaning that they are placed facing down. Hidden generals do not have any skills or gender, and do not belong to any kingdom. You may expose your general cards under any of the 3 circumstances. 1. During the preparation phase. 2. Skills of the general cards being activated. 3. During play phase, when the general activates a passive skill. For example, Guojia can be exposed when he suffers damage, and then activates Last Strategy. When Ma Chao uses an attack on a player, he can be exposed and activates Iron Cavalry. Sun Quan's skill, Rebalancing, allows him to be exposed during play phase. Lady Zhou could be exposed during play phase by using her passive skill, Femme Fatale. Marker cards. There are 4 types of marker cards: the Pioneer marker, the Yin Yang marker, the Perfect Pair marker, and the Death Match marker. If you are the first player in a game who exposed the general card, you can obtain a Pioneer marker. During play phase, you can discard the Pioneer marker to draw cards to make 4 hand cards, and then view a hidden general card of another player. If both of your general cards are exposed, and there is a separate half circle that cannot form a complete circle, you can obtain a Yin-Yang marker. During play phase, you can discard this marker and draw a card. Or during the discard phase, you can discard this marker to raise the limit of your hand card by 2. When both of your generals are exposed, and the name of one of the generals appears at the center right aligned area of the other, the 2 generals form a perfect pair. You can obtain a perfect pair marker. During play phase, you can discard this marker and draw 2 cards. Or use this marker as Peach. When there are only 4 or fewer players left in the game, and none of them has a teammate, the game enters into Deathmatch mode. Place the Deathmatch marker in the center of the battlefield as an indication. During Deathmatch, Peach could only be used or played as attack or dodge. It cannot be used to restore health. Heroes. Now you have learned everything it takes to become the lord of this chaotic period. Your battlefield awaits you and your generals. Forge ahead. Enjoy War of the 3 Kingdoms. Kingdom Wars.